Hello and welcome to episode number 235 of WITM. It's time for SmackDown Live, but before that, Shane McMahon is in the ring, microphone in hand, and we're going to have our longest promo segment in WITM history. 10 different scenes will be part of it, so sit back and enjoy. Shane McMahon, the SmackDown COO, is in the ring.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling. Cut the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter. Ching, ching, bling, bling. Patent pockets.
Shane McMahon speaks. Following Battleground, it is confirmed that history is going to be made in 3 weeks at SummerSlam. For the first time ever, the same man will walk into both the Raw and SmackDown main events at SummerSlam as the defending champion when Dean Ambrose defends both his Universal and WWE Championship at SummerSlam. And so, let's have him come down to the ring now. Introducing the Triple Crown, WWE, Universal, and United States Champion, the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. Shane continues to speak. First of all, Dean, congratulations on making history. SummerSlam is going to be a very busy night for you, but I have no doubt you are up to the challenge. However, there is one slight issue. It has been quite some time since your United States Championship has been defended, and at SummerSlam, you'll be a little busy defending your WWE and Universal titles. And so, Dalton Roush enters the ring and speaks. The next words out of your mouth, Shane, better be, you will defend that United States Championship against Dalton Roush. For most of the past month, I've been in line for a United States Championship title shot. And come Battleground, what did you do? Book me in a meaningless triple threat match against the has-been Chris Jericho and the man I already beat to earn the number one contendership slot, Dolph Ziggler. I didn't leave Hollywood for this. Dolph Ziggler makes his way to the ring and speaks. Hey Dalton, if I remember right, I beat you and Jericho at Battleground. So I guess that makes me the new number one contender, right Shane? And Dalton, you can feel free to go back to Hollywood and making overrated movies.
Yeah. ਸਾਡੀ ਸ਼ਾਨ ਵੇਖੋ ਮਾਨ ਸਨਮਾਨ ਵੇਖੋ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਖੜੀ ਏ ਚਟਾਨ ਵੇਖੋ ਸਾਡੀ ਪਛਾਣ ਵੇਖੋ ਚੰਗਾ ਮੈਦਾਨ ਵੇਖੋ ਕੋਪ ਤੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਵੈਰੀ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਨੇ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਵੇਖੋ ਇਹ ਮਜਾਲ ਵੈਰੀ ਮੂਰੇ ਆਕੇ ਖੰਗੇ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੂੰ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੇਸ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਡੇਰਾ ਦਿਲਾਂ ਚੋਂ ਵਹਿਮ ਕੱਢੋ ਝੂਠੇ ਦਿਲਾਂ ਸੇ ਛੱਡੋ ਸ਼ਾਨੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਨਗਰੀ ਦਾ ਲਾਂਦਾ ਗੇੜਾ ਮੋਤੀ ਅੱਖਾਂ 'ਚ ਅੱਖ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਵੇਖਾਵੇ ਹੋ ਮਾਈ ਦਲਾਲ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਾਵੇ ਰੋ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਤੂੰ ਬਾਹੀ ਜਿੱਤੇ ਬੰਬ ਸੁੱਟੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਕੋਲ ਛੋਟੀ ਉਮਰ ਤੂੰ ਹੀ ਖਤਰੇ ਤੇ ਪਾਲੇ ਸ਼ੋ ਕਿਸੇ ਤੋਂ ਡਰ ਜਮਾ ਇਹ ਜਿੰਦ ਜਿੰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਖੂਨ ਦਾ ਪਿਆਸਾ ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ੈ ਪੀਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੁੱਤ ਪਿਆਸ ਤੇ ਜਲਨ ਤੂੰ ਲਹਿਰਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾਬ ਨਸ਼ਾ ਚ ਵੰਦੇ ਮਿਲ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਰੂਹੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜਾਣ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਾ ਜਾ
Jinder Mahal makes his way to the ring and speaks. For the past month, I skyrocketed up the rankings. So Shane, do the right thing. Give me that title match with Dean Ambrose, so I can prove to these Americans who mock me for the way I dress and the way I talk, that the country of India and the modern day Maharaja is far superior to those pathetic losers and America. Dean Ambrose speaks. Look, I'm ready for a fight. I'll take each of you on, right here, right now. Shane McMahon speaks. Look, Dalton, Jinder, Dolph, each of you make legitimate cases for a United States Championship title shot, and Dean looks ready and willing to defend that United States title. So here's what we're going to do. Tonight, in the main event, Dean Ambrose will defend that United States Championship. It's going to be Dean Ambrose against Dalton Roush, Dolph Ziggler, and Jinder Mahal in a fatal four-way for the United States Championship. Best of luck to each of you men.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling. Got the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter. Ching, ching, bling, bling. Patent pockets. We take the dollar, dollar. Can a damn soul stop it? Here comes the new kid on the block. Hold on, your bets is where the buck stops. See, first of all, I'm stepping out on my own. About time I elevated to claim my own throne. Success in my blood, call it homegrown. Puerto Rican testosterone. Power and money got me crazy cocky. No longer need you, Poppy. I know you're mad.
Alright, and so a huge announcement from Shane McMahon. Each of these men holding a legitimate case for the United States Championship. Dalton Roush was the number one contender for pretty much the entire last month, but was not booked a United States Championship match at Battleground as he likely deserved to be, as Dean Ambrose was already defending his WWE Championship in a fatal four-way and was successful. Jinder Mahal has skyrocketed from the teens in the United States Championship rankings to the number 2 slot in the United States Championship rankings, earning him a spot in this fatal four-way matchup. Dolph Ziggler moved up from number 3, I believe, to number 1, contendership, winning that triple threat at Battleground, defeating Chris Jericho and Dalton Roush and taking the no decision. And of course, Dean will be making history, competing in both the Raw and SmackDown main events of SummerSlam, where he will defend the Universal title in Raw's main event and the WWE title in SmackDown's main event. And so the United States Championship must be defended. It has been a while, and it will be defended tonight on SmackDown Live in the main event here on episode 235. Dalton Roush looking to capture his first WWE gold as Dean Ambrose defends the United States Championship in a fatal four-way against Dalton Roush, Jinder Mahal, and Dolph Ziggler. Let's get underway.
We've been waiting a long time for this. The championship is up for grabs right here. Next, we have a real fan favorite taking on three of the toughest competitors the WWE has to offer.
Oh man, this one is sure to not disappoint.
Red alert, John, shine a light down. On the front lines of my mind now. Riding my time on the high ground. Blinded, but I'm still alive. Shout, oh! They said we're lucky to have got this far. And that is not worth fighting for. The words are written पंजाब दा जिनगरी दा लांदा गेड़ा मोती अखां च अख पाके वेखावे हो माई दा लाल जेड़ा जेड़ा सन्नू पावे रो पहले सिपाही जिते बंब सुटे साडी कौम छोटी उम्र तू ही खतरे ते पाले शो किसे तो डर जामा ए दिन जिंदा नहीं सूंगा प्यासा हो कोई शैद जिंदा नहीं सुत प्यास ते जलन तू लहरा विच नाब न सच वंदे मिल बन के रूहे पंजाब जिते जिते जान उते छा जान वड्डी तू वड्डी बेको मुश्किलां करन आसान शेरां दी कौम अप्पा शेरां दी कौम साडे हौसले रहंदे महान जिते जिते जान उते छा जान वड्डी तू वड्डी बेको मुश्किलां करन आसान शेरां दी कौम अप्पा शेरां दी कौम साडे हौसले रहंदे महान शेरां दी इक दिन जिदर ते 10 साल तू होंदा भारी बड़ा शेरां दा एक वार पंजाबी मुंडा मैं पंजाबियां दी शान हां पंजाबी मान सम्मान दा हनुमान हां सदा मारा हथोड़ा कस कोई ना मैं छोड़ा हड्डी ते हड्डी तोड़ा कर मैं ऐलान हां I'm here to show the world I'm here to show the world
Introducing the challenger, weighing in at 218 pounds, Ziggler.
Things are exactly what they seem. I will define the things you dream. Go check the scores again. I come out a perfect 10. They broke the mold when they made me real. Nothing that
Introducing the champion from Cincinnati, Ohio, weighing in at 225 pounds, he is the United States champion, Dean Ambrose.
If you haven't gotten it yet, you can get your copy of WWE 2K retailers around the world. Don't worry, I've already got mine. This is why I love calling SmackDown each and every week. It's matches like this one coming up. So much anticipation, and it all comes down to
And there
this.
is the prize on the line, the United States Championship. Dean Ambrose has been nearly unstoppable as of late. Is he going to be able to walk out of this match?
The four men in the ring are set.
Still,
One of the most chaotic contests a superstar can
the United
compete in
States
is a
champion
fatal four-way.
and a Triple Crown
Anything can happen,
champion.
and the match can be over.
Dalton wasting no time going right after the defending champion Ambrose. They developed somewhat of a rivalry over the past month or so. And they're taking the fight to the entrance ramp as Jinder Mahal and Dolph Ziggler fight inside the ring.
Totally disrespectful. Well, when he sees the belt, he likes to hit below it. Let's talk about the challenger briefly. Everyone knows he's
Series of punches by Ambrose. Ambrose wrestling his second fatal four-way matchup with a title on the line in 3 days. At Battleground, he defeated his former Shield brothers Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, as well as John Cena, in a fatal four-way match for the WWE Championship. Wrestling his third match in 3 days as well. As a Monday Night Raw, he wrestled an Intercontinental Champion WITM's Gerald in a non-title matchup, and that would be a great back-and-forth match with Ambrose picking up the victory.
Right, and the message reads PAIN. Looks like he's pinpointing the back.
Suplex by Ambrose to Dalton. Now a stomp. Forces Dalton to his feet. And Dalton Irish whips Ambrose right back to the bottom of that entrance ramp. Now, this is not a Falls Count Anywhere matchup, so Dalton and Ambrose must get back to the ring to score a pinfall or submission and walk out of here the United States Championship. And we're almost to the stage now as Jinder goes for cover, and Ziggler's going to power out at 1.5.
Extra slow getting back to his base here.
Reversal by Dalton to Ambrose. Stomp to the chest. Trying the best to see with the camera way zoomed out.
Well, or the front, that gives you a pretty good idea of what they think of themselves and their ability in the ring. The thing with Dolph Ziggler is he backs it up every single night.
Reversal by Ambrose. And a bulldog to Dalton by Ambrose. Now a submission. Remember, Dalton, or rather, well, anybody for that matter, cannot win the match outside the ring. Dolph goes for cover on Jinder, who powers out at 1. Crossbody and a fury of punches to the head of Dalton by Dean Ambrose. Now reversal by Dalton. Dalton working the arm of Ambrose. Stomp to the back. There's another stomp.
Yeah, I think he's stuck on the repeat button.
Forces Ambrose to his feet. And belly to belly. Meanwhile, Ziggler goes for cover on Jinder Mahal, who powers out at 2. And someone is busted open. I believe that is Jinder Mahal. Stomp to the arm. Arm dragged by Dalton. Forces Ambrose to his feet. Reversal by Ambrose. Swinging neck breaker by Ambrose. Forces Dalton up. Reversal by Dalton. Ziggler goes for cover. And Jinder's going to power out at 1.5. Reversal by Ambrose. Stomp to the chest. Series of punches to the head of Dalton, and someone got busted open. Not sure if that was Ziggler or Dalton. Reversal by Dalton. Spinning back fist. And reversal by Ambrose. Jinder going for a roll-up cover. Very nearly becomes United States Champion, but Ziggler powers out at 2.5. And it was Dalton that was busted open earlier as Ambrose gets fired up. Ambrose makes his way back into the ring as Ziggler does several elbow drops to Mahal. Dean is looking to take flight. He's diving outside the ring. Diving elbow drop to Dalton. Stomp to the chest. As Ziggler still doing elbow drops on Jinder Mahal.
Wow, he's still down after that. The knee.
Knee to the head of Ambrose by Dalton. Now stomp to the back of the head. Forces Ambrose to his feet, but reversal by Ambrose with an uppercut. Swinging neck breaker and elbow strike to the head of Dalton by Ambrose. Reversal by Dalton. Irish whip by Dalton. That's going to send Ambrose nearly crashing into the barricade on the other side. As Dalton gets fired up now with his opportunity to capture his first WWE gold. Jinder goes for cover. Again, nearly becomes the United States Champion, but Dolph is going to power out at 2.5. And Jinder's getting fired up. Dalton forces Ambrose into the ring. Jinder locks in a camel clutch, but Dolph powers out almost instantly. Or rather, breaks the hold and goes tumbling outside. Now, Dalton turns his attention to Jinder Mahal. and sends him tumbling outside. Dean rolls outside to avoid the stomp. It's just Dalton and Dean Ambrose standing now. And one goes inside, the other goes outside.
Well, I don't blame him. Back now inside the ring.
And this is probably going to continue until one of them gets attacked.
The outside.
Okay, Dalton makes his way back into the ring. So does Jinder Mahal and Dolph Ziggler. All four men in the ring for the first time since the first few seconds of this match. Dalton getting fired up now. Ambrose with a brain buster to Ziggler and looking to take flight.
Look how slow he is to recover.
Chopped by
That was some
Dalton
serious
to Jinder. There's another. Dolph connects with a diving elbow drop. Suplex to Jinder by Dalton, but he's low on stamina. But Dalton getting fired up. Ambrose and Ziggler taking the fight outside. Dalton takes a bow and hits a leg drop to Jinder Mahal. Dolph back in the ring, so is Ambrose.
He's in full-on attack mode now.
Reversal by Mahal. Ziggler connects with a famouser to Ambrose and turns his attention to Dalton, but Dalton is able to reverse.
Nice reversal there. Oh, Dolph Ziggler is on the move.
Jinder looking for some offense, but Dolph breaks it up and then turns his attention to Ambrose. Jinder's low on stamina. All four of these men exhausted, beaten and battered, but they know what's on the line. That United States Championship and the ability to go into SummerSlam as a defending champion. Jinder goes tumbling outside. Dolph, or rather Dean, I believe, may be looking for dirty deeds on Dolph, but Dalton is going to break that up. Stomp to the chest of Ambrose, sends Ambrose tumbling outside. Dalton and Ziggler, the only two men left standing.
How much damage did that do? A lot from the looks of it.
Dolph Ziggler turns it around.
Reversal by Ziggler. But Dalton's going to catch the leg and send Ziggler spiraling.
He's delivering an old-fashioned butt kicking right here.
Dalton
Pulling out all the stops tonight.
for the AA, but Jinder
Trying to put him away.
interfering, so turns it into a backbreaker. Now a powerbomb into a cover. Does Dalton become United States champion?
He's looking to, and there's the submission.
No, but he turns it into a Boston Crab.
He's kicked it into another gear. Whoa!
And
Would you look at this? Can you believe
Jinder's
it?
gonna
This is a
break the hold, just barely in time. Now Ambrose back to the ring. Headbutt to Dalton. Forces Dalton up. Drags Dalton on the ropes. What does Ambrose have in mind? Doesn't matter. It's going to be, or no, not reversed by Dalton. Dean's going to come off the ropes and connect. Turns attention to Jinder Mahal. Headbutt to Jinder. And fires up the WWE Universe. Ziggler back into the ring now.
Look at this. I think he's tuning up the band. You think? Wait a minute.
Was thinking about
The ring may not be big enough for what's about to
the
unfold.
move made famous by Shawn Michaels, Sweet Chin Music, but let's not
The
to.
ring may not be big enough for
All
what's
four
about
men
to
outside the
unfold
ring
here.
Are you
now.
kidding me? This entire arena may not be big enough.
This is what makes him one of the
Dean
best
Ambrose
in
and
the
Jinder
business.
Mahal fighting outside the ring. Dolph Ziggler and Dalton fighting outside. Remember, this match must be won inside the ring.
Remember the last time he executed that maneuver.
And with Dolph down, Dalton turns his attention
Just trying
to Dean
get his
Ambrose and
opponent
Jinder
into making a
Mahal.
mistake here.
But takes some time to recover first. Jinder outstrips Dalton
He
into the
is
steel
really tired
steps.
now. That tank of his has to be reading empty.
Stomp to the
It
back.
has to be, King, but I still don't see him giving up.
And now it's Jinder Mahal and Dalton
This.
fighting.
Just
But
barely moving.
Jinder turns his attention with Dalton down to Ziggler and Ambrose.
He's sending a message to the entire WWE locker room here.
Dalton is starting to get back to his feet, to a knee. And now back to his feet.
Action outside. How will these guys do with
But
absorbing the
not for
punishment
long,
they're
as a
about to
knee
receive
to the
here?
back of Dalton, courtesy of Dolph Ziggler, is going to send Dalton back to the ground. And Irish whipped again into the steel steps. Ambrose sends Ziggler
Boy, he
to
is
the
really
other
tired now.
side of
That
ringside.
tank of his has to be reading empty.
It has
to be king.
And turns
But I
his
still don't
attention
see him giving
to
up.
Dalton. Dalton, Irish back into the ring.
Ziggler with the
Not
reversal.
before an elbow strike to the head of Dalton, dangling over the apron.
I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to go.
Dolph Ziggler is going
Famous
into the
sir
top.
by Ziggler. Dalton and Ambrose are down. Jinder make his way back to the ring. Dalton trying to get back to his feet.
Showing the signs
Ambrose
of
busted open
punishment.
now.
King incoming.
Jinder gets Irish whipped outside, and Jinder will join him there.
Back is in dire straits right now. Nice counter by
Reversal
Ziggler.
by
He may be a
Ambrose.
show-off, but he's such an amazing natural athlete as well.
And a huge DDT plunging the head of Dalton into the canvas.
You know this Dean
Now
Ambrose
Ambrose
is crazy. What do you think
getting
he's gonna
fired
do now,
up.
Cole?
I don't know, he's measuring his opponent.
Knee to the head of
Shoulders down.
Dalton.
This
Does
could be
Dean
it.
retain the United States Championship?
Such
He
a
does.
impressive win and title
Dean
defense from
retains
Dean
his
Ambrose tonight.
second title in a fatal four-way in 3 days. Ambrose is absolutely unstoppable lately. He's going to remain a Triple Crown champion and a United States champion.
Here's your winner and still the United States champion, Dean Ambrose.
Huge victory here in this fatal four-way match.
Wow, I can't believe what these four competitors just put their bodies through. What a battle.
What's going to happen next week on SmackDown?
Alright, so every man putting up a good fight, but Dean Ambrose is just absolutely unstoppable lately. Still United States champion, still a Triple Crown champion, besides Gerald, the only man on Raw or SmackDown to hold a singles title. And we will see how those rankings affect, or how those results affect the rankings on SmackDown Live. Let me just make sure in the multi-person matches that I have the right person down for the loss and the no decision. And I do. Alright, so let's do our rankings update for SmackDown. Starting as usual with the women. Becky Lynch defeated Alexa Bliss. Becky is already #1 contender. And Alexa falls down to number 5. But Natalya lost as well. So Natalya to number 6, Alexa to number 5. Mickie James defeated Charlotte in a triple threat. Tamina took a no decision, but Becky Lynch won as well, so Mickie remains number 2. Tamina took the no decision, so she remains number 3. And Charlotte is champion, so no change there. Sasha Banks defeated Natalya. So Tamina will move down a spot because Sasha Banks is moving up to number 3. and Natalia falls to the bottom, number 7. And the top 5 contenders to the SmackDown Women's Championship held by Charlotte are number 1, Becky Lynch, number 2, Mickie James, number 3, Sasha Banks, number 4, Tamina, and number 5, Alexa Bliss. And now SmackDown Tag Team Division. The Hardy Boys defeated Titus Worldwide, and Titus Worldwide is already at the bottom, number 5, and the Hardy Boys are champions. And the top 5 contenders to the SmackDown Tag Team Championships held by the Hardy Boys are number 1, The Club, number 2, The Colognes, number 3, Beauty and the Man Beast, number 4, The Ascension, and number 5, Titus Worldwide. And now the United States Championship rankings following that United States Championship match. Seth Rollins defeated Chris Jericho in a triple threat. Chad Gable took the no decision. Rollins is not in these rankings. Jericho falls to number 13. And because Gable does not move up or down, I will allow him to move up to number 12. He took the no decision. Roman Reigns defeated AJ Styles. Reigns moves up to number 7. Styles' major struggles continue. We may see a shock of AJ Styles going to NXT following SummerSlam if he does not start picking up some wins. And Dean Ambrose successfully defended his United States Championship against Dalton, Roush, Jinder Mahal, and Dolph Ziggler in the Fatal 4-Way that we just witnessed. Unfortunately for Dalton, he did take the pinfall in that match, so he moves down to number 4. Jinder Mahal and Dolph Ziggler took the no decision, so Ziggler remains number 1 contender. Mahal sits at number 2. And the top 5 contenders to the United States Championship held by Dean Ambrose are number 1, Dolph Ziggler, number 2, Jinder Mahal, number 3, Apollo Crews, number 4, Dalton Roush, and number 5, Mike Kanellis. And now we move on to NXT. Will we see Corey in action and another must-win match? And it's booked Andrew in a triple threat, but we can easily fix that. That match will be R-Truth versus Eric Young. And it looks like Corey's NXT TakeOver Brooklyn hopes have likely been extinguished. He will get the week off. Corey absolutely needs to move up 5 spots in order to be part of that six-man Hell in a Cell for Andrew's NXT Championship. He currently sits at number 10, so unless some people ahead of him move down and Corey gets some free spots this week, then Corey will not be part of that 6-man NXT Championship matchup.
Drew McIntyre.
Can't remember, was it? I'll have to go back and see what that match was. I can't remember if it was supposed to be R-Truth or Drew McIntyre. R-Truth, alright. So we'll turn that into a singles match since Andrew is 205 Live exclusive unless he's defending his NXT title.
Eric Young. R-Truth.
And we will get our results and see just if Corey does get lucky and pick up some free spots, or if he will slide down the rankings, freaking a week off, which would effectively and Corey's hopes of getting an NXT title shot as part of that 6-man Hell in a Cell at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. Alright, so Eric Young defeats R-Truth. Breezango defeats TM61. The Singh brothers defeat Sanity. Hideo Itami defeats Trent Seven. Tyler Bate defeats Roderick Strong. Ember Moon defeats Ruby Riott. And Tommaso Ciampa defeated Drew McIntyre. Alright, and we'll see how those results affect NXT. Starting with the NXT women. Ember Moon defeated Ruby Riott. Ember Moon remains #1 contender. Ruby Riott falls to number 6. Maiden Summer Rae moves into the top 5 at number 5. And the top 5 contenders to the NXT Women's Championship held by Alicia Fox are number 1, Ember Moon. Number 2, Naomi. Number 3, Nikki Cross. Number 4, Peyton Royce. And number 5, Summer Rae. And now the NXT Tag Team rankings. Breezango defeated TM61. TM61 moves down to number 3. The Singh brothers defeated Sanity, so they move up 2 slots for their victory. They will move past Heavy Machinery, even though they won as well, because of their non-title victory. And the top 4 contenders to the NXT Tag Team Championships, held by Sanity, are number 1, Breezango, number 2, the Singh brothers, number 3, Heavy Machinery, and number 4, TM61. And now the NXT Singles rankings. Eric Young defeated R-Truth. Young moves up to number 2. Truth falls to number 18. Hideo Itami defeated Trent Seven. Itami moves up to number 11. 7 falls to 10. That is 1 free spot for Corey so far. Tyler Bate defeated Roderick Strong. Bate moves up to 15. Strong falls to 18, but Truth lost as well, so Truth number 19. Strong falls to 18. Tommaso Ciampa defeated Drew McIntyre. Ciampa moves up to number 4. McIntyre falls to 9, which means Corey, despite getting a week off, will move up 2 slots to number 8. Meaning he must, either by getting more free slots or by picking up a victory, next week move up 3 spots to that spot currently held by Oney Lorcan, number 5. And if he does so, he will be part of that 6-man Hell in a Cell at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn for Andrew's NXT Championship, and which is his ticket back to the main roster. As of right now, the top 5 contenders to the NXT Championship held by Andrew, and the men that as of right now would be part of that 6-man Hell in a Cell are number 1, Ty Dillinger, number 2, Eric Young, number 3, Johnny Gargano, number 4, Tommaso Ciampa, and number 5, Oney Lorcan. And now we advance to Raw's portion of main event, continuing to seek out our next WITM matchup. Will we see the Intercontinental Champion and Gerald in action? We will. He's pictured there in the Tonight Show. And he's going to be taking on the Bulgarian Brute Rusev in the main event of Raw's portion of main event. So that is going to do it for episode number 235 of WITM. A pretty lengthy episode, 235. Until 236, this is Corey, signing off.